Good morning. Please be seated. For those who don't know me, my name is Jan Corning, and I am on the Stewardship Committee. And several of us decided that I would be the person to kick off the campaign. And I'll say that it starts, 3 weeks ago. It's so easy. We just have to talk about time, treasure, and talents, and we have to talk about money, and we have to not talk about money. And it's so easy. And I say, sure, of course, yes, I can do that. And then abject terror strikes sometime around Wednesday, and I think, I'm sick. I can't do it. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. But we are blessed here that we have so much to talk about with stewardship. Under the umbrella of growth, rejoice, and flourish, we began to put together our campaign about family, belonging, and support. They say you can't choose your family, but we have. We have come together and we have made this our family. And we all belong here, whether you've been here one time or 30 times or 30 years or more. We all still belong here. And the support that we give to one another in the sharing of our time, treasures, and talents is what makes it a family. And stewardship is just that. It is the sharing of time, treasure, and talents. And that money thing. My favorite definition of stewardship is everything that you do after the moment that you say, I believe. And there's that money thing. So if you look in your bulletin, you will see that we came together on the One More campaign. It's so easy to say, I don't make a difference. Whatever I do is not going to make a difference. It's also so easy to just do one more. One more thing. One more thing for your church. One more prayer. One more donation for the sharing shed. One more hour spent in the office helping Columba. One more smile. One more sense of sharing. One more discussion outside of the church where you speak with pride about your membership, your sense of belonging in this family we call St. Mark's. And there's that money thing. Stewardship is also talking about pledging. Now, I want to remind everybody that pledging is not a bill. No one sends you an invoice. You're not past due. We don't charge interest. Pledging helps us to have a choice. You have a choice how much you pledge. And we have great ranges of what people pledge. And you can give more than what you pledge, and you can give less than what you pledge. But what the pledge does is it allows the leadership of this church to make choices about where their money will go and what they can do and the stewardship that the church as a whole can do for the community. And we're doing really well. In 2021, which seems like 1,000 years ago, it was before Columba, it was in the middle of COVID, we had 27 pledging units, and our total pledge amount was about $68,000. In 2022, we went the wrong direction. We had 23 pledging units, and we had total pledges of about $55,000. In 2023, we started with 28 pledging units. We now have 34 pledging units, and we have pledges of about $90,000. That's amazing. We've increased our pledges by 50% over last year. That's great stewardship. Please pledge. Please remember to pledge. A month from now, we're going to have the ability to pledge. I believe we're going to present the pledge on the altar, maybe. We're still talking about it. But please do pledge. So back to that one more campaign. If everybody gave 34 pledging units, 52 weeks a year, if everybody gave $1 more, we'd have $1,768 more. If everybody gave $5 more, we'd have $10,400 more. If everybody gave $20 more, we'd have $35,000 more. I'm not suggesting that everybody give $20 more. It would be great. But think about just giving one more bill than what you already gave. Oh, and here's this. Please make it automatic. If you don't come, we don't get the money. It's so easy to have your bank do an automatic transfer once a week or once a month, and you forget about it. You don't even think about it, and we get the money. Because stewardship, unfortunately, is still about money. Last week, someone who does fabulous sermons included several paragraphs that I'm going to reread to you in the form of stewardship, because we are fabulous stewards of our church and our community. And I wonder about our stewardship of our future. From Columba's sermon last week. Sometimes I think we struggle to realize this message, that we've got some work to do. Often, I think we don't realize it, don't see it, because we don't want to. And we need someone to point it out for us, to show us that there's a way of being that maybe doesn't look like what we're comfortable with or what we really want. Maybe that's exactly the point. Just as Jesus tells the priests and elders that they have some work to do, that they have to reorient themselves to a new way of being, I hear Jesus telling us the same thing. I hear Jesus inviting us to examine our hearts and reorient our processes in such a way that allows us to really experience and counter what God has to offer. And what God has to offer us is change. What Jesus asks isn't burdensome. It doesn't require heroism. It just requires us to do some deep thinking. It requires us to really discern. It requires us to listen, to think creatively, to be open to seeing a viewpoint that isn't our own, and to believe that God is speaking something to us that we really need to hear, even if that's not what we want to hear. We have done an amazing job of increasing our pledges. We still have a pretty significant budget gap. The reality is that that budget gap is going to continue. and the future of this church and what this church looks like might be very different in 5 years. We don't know. So in addition to the one more, please offer one more idea, one more way to engage with the community, one more way to continue to make St. Mark's relevant, because that gives us all the choice of the future. Thank you.